Thank you very much. It's good to see you tonight. We're now at the point where things come together and we can see the bigger picture. And the most important thing of it all is that, the biggest missing link that we're always looking for is the success. So the success is here tonight. It's in the chair that you're sitting. The success is in the chair. It's your name. It's who you are. It's in you. That's the wonderful thing about life, is that we are not on a journey looking for something. We are on a journey to explore what is already in us and to get skilled in all the capacity that's in us so that we can live it and we can implement it and we can get it together and actually at the end of the day live that life, build that life and create that life that you want to live, and that's your heart and your passion from the inside to the outside. It's important to understand that everything of your life is already in your heart. It is in the form of a blueprint in your heart. You need to listen to your heart. You need to develop your heart so that your heart can be focused, clean, healthy, and that you can listen to your heart and you can adapt to what your heart is speaking to you. Living near your Creator, that your heart can be fresh every day. Go through times being silent to listen to what's going on. Cut out all the voices that wants to disturb your heart so that you can be conscious of the blueprint that's in your heart. As long as you can find that blueprint and stay true to your heart, you can always find the right way. And it needed to be always, let's say, spiritual things. Today I was inquiring concerning something and it's like, the moment I found the thing and then I just know, no, it's not here, I found it, but I just know it's not here. And then I went on looking at other places and I went and look and actually I found it for 3,200 rand less than what I could have bought it at the first place. That I told me it's only there. So, you need to listen to your heart. You need to be very sensitive to your heart and walk with your heart and walk with the life that the Lord has given you and what you need to do. This chapter tonight, chapter 11, is all about time. Time is a very silent factor in this whole process of the formula of success. It's one of the things that you cannot do anything about. You wake up in the morning, time is running, the sun is coming up, it's 24 hours. It's something you cannot directly change in itself. Because God knew best for us not to put it in our hands so that we can change it. Because as it is the best for us. We must just come to the understanding of what time is and why it is like that and start to manage the time that we have. Because it is good for us not to have more than 24 hours. All people have 24 hours. You cannot reduce it, you cannot make it more, you cannot import the future time, you cannot borrow any time from other people, whatever. Time is a very fixed thing, and we need to understand the time element in the whole process of success, because time is maybe one of the most important things in the whole process of success. Because I haven't found people living a successful life that haven't conquered time in a certain sense. That's not in control of their time. Yes, they're managing it correctly, because time is a strange thing. It's only here in a split second. It's only here every split second, and the moment you think of it in a split second, now it's over, then the next one is there, then the next one is there. And you can never get the one in the past back, and you can never go into the future. And we tend to live in the past, because 80% of people's energy are spent in dealing with the past. 80% of people's energy are in the now is spent in trying to deal with the past that's gone, that can never be there again, that you can, in a certain sense, never change. But we are so busy living back to sort of try to sort out the past that you don't live in the now. And even the Bible tells us now is the acceptable time of the Lord. Now we hear it often in the Bible. And the Lord says to us that we need to redeem the time for us. You can redeem the time. It is a command that's given to us. It's there, 24 hours, 1,440 minutes every day. It's laid out for you. And then it just starts to run. Second by second it's running. And for you to redeem it means that you must have a plan how to tap into that time and to activate things and to make things happen in that time. You know, when you think about wealth creation, that we say you must sort of attain within 20 years. 20 years is 240 months. 240 months gives you 240 paychecks. If you think you must attain financial freedom within 240 paychecks, you know, you need to let things happen. Something need to happen. You know, it's not like, you know, we'll see, we will. You need to sort of give speed to something. You know, whatever the plan is, you need to activate something because time is just running, and it gives you a split moments of opportunities where you need to activate things. And one of the most important things of time is that you need to be present in the now. You see, I find it sometimes myself, you know, I get into a situation, you think, okay, we'll sort it out later, you know, but the later is not there. There is no later. You know, because there's only a now. Yes, the later can arrive later on, if you can say it like that. You see, but it is, somehow you need to talk to yourself and say, listen, the later is not there. And maybe you can die, maybe you can get sick, maybe whatever. You know, as the past you can never recover, so that tomorrow is not necessarily there in a certain sense. We do not have full control over tomorrow. You see, so the best time for you to make change in your life is the now. And when you are involved in something, you know, you need to be present in the now. When you sit with someone, when you want to say something, when you want to present something, you need to be present in the now. Because if you're not now here, then after a second it's gone. You see, it's like a wheel that's running, and you need to keep the pace and be there at eventually. There's a guy called Arnold Bennett. I can just read it maybe to you. He said very beautifully. He talked about time. He said, time is the inexplicable raw material of everything. With time, all is possible. But without it, nothing is possible. The supply of time is truly a daily miracle and an affair genuinely astonishing when one examines it. You wake up in the morning and lo, your purse is magically filled with 24 hours of the unmanufactured tissue of the universe of your life. It is yours. It is the most precious of possessions. No one can take it from you. No one can steal it, and no one receives either more or less than what you receive. In the realm of time, there is no aristocracy, wealth, or no aristocracy of intellect. Genius is never rewarded by even an extra hour a day, or there is no punishment. Waste your infinitely precious commodity as much as you will, and the supply will never be withheld from you. Moreover, you cannot draw on the future. It is impossible to get into depth with time. You can only waste the passing moment. You cannot waste tomorrow. It is kept for you. You cannot waste the next hour. It is kept for you. As I've said, the affair was a genuine miracle, is it not? You have to live on these 24 hours daily, of daily time. Out of it you have to spend health, pleasure, money, content, respect, and the evolution of your immortal soul. Its right use and its most effective use is a matter of the highest urgency and of the most thrilling actuality. All depends on that. What happens and the elusive price that you are all clutching for, my friends, depend on that. If you cannot arrange that an income of 24 hours, you shall exactly cover all items of expenditure. One does not muddle one's whole life indefinitely. We shall never have any more time. We have any more time. We have, and we always had all the time there is. It's a strange thing, eh? Just to think about time, you know. When you think about time, and you think about, I've always said to myself, think about it. What was there before the creation was there? You know, what was there? You know, there was just nothing except God. You know, there was just nothing. You know, what is nothing? Try to think about what's nothing. Take everything that you know away, you know, the earth and everything here. Just take it away, and what is left, you know? It's actually there's nothing left, except what God is Himself. So it is crazy to think, that this life that we perceive here that's running in time is actually the whole center of what God's life is all about, is to look at this and to let this prosper and to be involved in this, in what you and me are actually experiencing at the moment. That is what it is all about. Time is part of everything in this world. They've taken people, they've put them in a closed scenario with no light, no nothing, no watches, no TV, no connection to the outside. And they just left them there inside this, let's say, a closed house, with no idea what's going on. And they just live there. There's enough food and everything, they can do, there's games and whatever. And I found out that people without watches, without anything, live a perfect 24-hour day. Because time is intrinsically in us. That's why when you look at nature, there's a time clock in nature. There's a time clock in us. Where you can even take people, in a certain sense, out of a conscious time, and they still live within time, 24 hours cyclists, even though they have no watches to measure it, no way to determine, when is it light, when it's darkness, because it's always dark, but there's lights you can put on and off. They still live the perfect 24 hours. Why? Because time is something that's part of our human being, that we are created in here. It's actually very difficult for us to think above time, because God is above time. Because for God, our present now is as present as the Antichrist. His experience of the Antichrist is as now as his experience of us now. His experience of the end of the world is as vivid now for him as is what we're living now. Because he's everywhere. And everywhere and everything in time is for him and now. Every now just remains in his life and is still for him and now. Because he's above time. He can go back in time. He can go forward in time. He can be everywhere because he's not restricted by time as we are restricted. Time is in a certain sense running us. But God is running time because He is bigger than time here. He created time. When you start to think about that, and there will come a time where we will go back to above time. Above anything in this world that's restricting us. It's a very interesting thought to go back to. But the thing is that at the moment we're part of a world where time is running everything. And if you do not manage time and use it and learn the skill of let life happen in the now, then time will run out for you. Then time will just override you, and you will just end up one day and discover that time is over. And what you wanted to live maybe is not, there's no time left for that. So we need to be conscious of time, and not in the sense that it must come let's say, an idol in our lives, but we must remember time was given as an opportunity for us to manifest something for our Creator, to manifest the blueprint that's in us for our Creator. And we always say, and to do that you need to plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. He that aims at nothing will hit it every time. It's so easy to just float through life. It's so easy to sit on Facebook and spend an hour there. While people find it very difficult to take a book or a Bible and to sit and read for an hour. It's the same hour. Why is the one difficult and the other one not? Why are you not spending the same amount of time in developing yourself? It was an hour. And it's not a right and a wrong thing. It's all about effective. What is effective for your life that will take you forward? I've never seen any person reach success by having an hour a day Facebook. I'm not against Facebook in principle, but I've never seen that. But if that doesn't bring you to success, can you not do something more effective maybe with that hour to bring you to success by maybe reading a book? Because we find that all successful CEOs read one book a week. One book a week. They read 25 books a year. And it's part of their life pattern. Why? Because they believe in self-development. And self-development is the most key issue in terms of achieving success. Because they know they cannot study all the fields and get all the knowledge by studying it themselves. They need to download from other people. Therefore, they read books of other people that have already studied that field, and then they can download quickly from them and learn the most important parts of it. That's why they are successful. It's not that they are better than you. They are not better than anyone on earth. They're just managing their time in things that's effective for their lives. And that's why they start to experience the real person that's inside of them. So as we say that time is maybe our most precious commodity, we need to learn to manage this time. We need to learn to treat this time with very careful, with much care. Because we find that people that's living successful life do manage their time. You know, me and Marianne, we've sat down this week and look at our next 2-3 years, you know. So for us, our next 3 years is already set out, because what we want to do, we've put it in, and we discovered that, you know, the next 3 years is not enough for what we need to do. We need more years than the 3 years. You know, and I start to get a bit of anxious, you know, because we want to get things done, you know, and then you realize the next 3 years is not enough, because there's so many things that you want to do. But if you don't start to see it and start to break it down and say, okay, next year this must happen at least. You know, and then you say at least in this first quarter, the second quarter, the third, the fourth quarter, you start to break down your life for yourself, you get yourself some goals, and then you start to manage day by day, not even hour by moment. You know, when I sat before the computer, you know, I mean, they say, you know, you can sort of only work for an hour, then you need sort of a 10-minute break type of thing, you know. But, you know, I think it's maybe true, you know, but I found myself, you know, when you take that 10-minute break, you know, so it gets so quickly 20 minutes, you know, it gets so quickly 30 minutes, you know, and things get into you, and you just Google something, and then half an hour is gone, you know. And then you realize there was half an hour now that just went gone. That's not maybe wasted, if you can say it like that. But you just realize time is just running very fast. And you can stay in that mode for another hour. But in the meantime, the most important thing that you need to do, you're not doing. And that is where things starts to happen. I've already said you need to redeem your time. We need to do definite things to make more effective use of our time. We can conquer our time. It is not that we can change things, and we don't need to change it. 24 hours is enough. But we must realize that we must start to manage it and utilize it in such a way that you can live your life with what the time that God has given us on this earth. Okay, so a few things you can do. It's all in the book there. To manage more your time is plan your day. Make a list of things. Start your day with exercise or meditation. Give prime time to the most important things. You know, most successful people say you don't go on your phone before 10 o'clock. Because before 10 o'clock you need to do what is the most important things of your life. Because people are going to come into your life, and they're going to give you a plan or something for you to do. And then you're not doing the things that you must do for your life. It's very important. It's true. It's happening. Because your life is first in a row, not other people's lives. You must do the things first in the morning. That's your life, but it's on your program and your planning. Get goals and deadlines. Do social media maybe in times where you just relax and not as a definite time. Do self-investment, reaching out to other people. Do the thing that's best in your life. Delegate all the other stuff to other people. Focus on what you need to get done. Put off your phone. I mean, I just put off all notification on my phones in terms of the noise. You know, I've put it off because it makes you crazy. I mean, it comes through like, I mean, I on average receives maybe, you know, what is it? You know, every half an hour I check my phone, and there is 30, 40 notifications on the phone. I mean, the thing is busy. Now, not everything is important, but if you're going to focus on that thing, I think you will not have a life. So for me, I put it off, and then in the 10 minutes time when I quickly take off, I go to the phone and check quickly, what's important and this, Otherwise, this thing will rule your life. You must come to a point that your phone do not rule your life. It's very important. Because your life you need to live your life. I mean, I will not be able to focus on that computer if this phone is on, because it's like tweet, 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 all the way. You cannot focus. And you need to do what was set out for you, and you need to draw a line for other people when they can come into your life. And then constantly I find people in their phone who say, haven't you seen my WhatsApp? You say, no, I haven't seen your WhatsApp, because I only look at it once an hour, mostly. I look on it. If it's important, you can maybe phone me, but then it's 90% of the cases it's not important. But they still phone you, they say, but you must respond within a minute to my WhatsApp. I say, why? I'm busy with my life. I'm not busy living your life. Yeah, but you must respond to me. If I give you your WhatsApp, it comes through, I see it registered on your phone, you must read it. I said, no, I'm not reading it. I'm reading it only every hour. They said, but what's the problem with you? I said, my problem is I'm living my life. and I know that if I'm not living this life as I'm living it, I'm going to be a slave to everything that's on the outside. And everything on the outside is going to rule me, and my time will go to all the needs and the greeds and the whatever of other people, and I will not have a life myself at the end of the day. I discovered it, the more people become real wealth creators, the more it's not so easy to get them. If they phone you back in a day's time, you can be very, very, feel very important. Because they sometimes only check their messages weekly. They just say, I'm not living on it. I'm just living my life. No, I'm not there. But I know people like that. They say, I check my phone weekly. And if it's important, they can phone me. Well, maybe you can think about that. Eliminate distractions. Sleep 6 to 8 hours, because rest is very important. Use a reminder system. Have margins in your life. Take power naps for 10 minutes. That one is a very good one. I'm good at that. It really works. When you sort of just, feel very drained. They always say, when you sleep with your keys in your hand, and the moment you feel into a deep sleep, the keys will fall out of your hand. Then you have effectively relaxed unto the core of your being. And it's really true. Because the moment you relax totally, then the keys will fall out of your hand, you will wake up, and then you have slept enough to go on with the day. It's interesting that the people with the siesta, in the countries with siesta, do have much less heart attacks and stuff than the countries where it's not. Okay. Maybe you must take a siesta. Okay, reflect on the day, think about the day. How do we know that we've conquered time? I think it's very easy. The moment you start to see that your life starts to happen in terms of what you really want to live, you've conquered time. In terms of the financial world, the older you get, the less you need to work, but the more money you need to earn. The more money you must earn. Then you've done something correctly. Then you have conquered time, and time is working for you. Time is there, it will sort of give the pace, but if you get the pace of time, you can conquer time, and time can start to work for you. And it's a very important thing that you need to discover for yourself. But the only way to get it is to live from the inside to the outside. You cannot conquer it by trying to solve everything that comes from you from the outside. It is impossible. You need to decide what you are living for. You need to learn to say no to people, no to things that's not part of your life. I see constantly on social media and stuff. Everyone wants to connect you, everyone wants to phone you, everyone. I'm not going into it, because I will not have a life at the end of the day. You can only know about 12 to 20 people and still have connection and still have time to spend together. This thing that you can know 1,200 people, yes, you can know them by name, but you do not really know them. But we feel so, whatever, we know all these hundreds and thousands of people, but it's a life spread so thin that you mean nothing to no one. You need to decide who are the people that's part of your life. You need to allocate your time for those people. And I found out in my life that if someone phone me and they want to see me, if they can't see me within at the most in that week, I know my life is no longer in my hands. Sometimes I phone people and say, "Ooh, this week no, next week, next month no. 3 months time I'll be able to see you." I say, "My friend, there's something wrong in your life. Maybe I must not come and see you, because it looks like I'm a burden in your life. Because what's all the things in your life that you've so fully booked for 3 months? I mean, you don't have margins any longer. If something happened, there's no margin, there's no time that you can sort of draw upon and do something if there's a crisis happening or whatever. The time is running you. You're no longer running the time is running you. And maybe people don't need to see you. Not the whole, I don't want to live a life where the whole world must come and see me, because I'm not the savior of the world. You see, you need to live and make the decision who's the people that you must know, and set up your time for them, commit to them, and leave the rest. You are not the God that can save the world and know everyone. You will not get rewarded for that. It's not effective. And to have I'm always a busy person, but I can stop my life right now and I can give time to people, because I'm still in control of my life. But in my personality, I'm always busy, because I don't just sit and do nothing. But that's fine, it's part of me. I'm always busy because I like it being busy. But if someone phones me, normally I can, even within the next 2 days, I can say, okay, we can meet together. Why? Because I'm in control of my time. Time is not running me, I'm running the time. So make sure that you still have margins in your life, that you have time where you can just sit and reflect and think about things and think about life, and not in this rat race of things is just going and there's no time left for anything else. Okay. We need to learn to capture the now. We've already talked about that. Okay. And I think that's maybe everything that we want to say about time. But it is very important, because part of freedom in our lives is to find that, let's say, that conquering mode, that you still know that although time is not going to go off its rhythm, and you are in that rhythm, you know that you've got space and everything in that time is under your control. And you know how to effectively use the time. You know to effectively book out the time, to manage the time. You know what you want to do in that time. It's not like, okay, I'll see, I wonder, It's like you go for it, you do it, you stand up, you focus on the thing. And then you come to a place where you feel that no longer is time something that is, what is it? It's like a prison. As I said, it's not wrong to be very busy. But busyness can be a sign of not managing your time properly. You always, people that say, I'm so busy. They always say so busy. There's just no time. And I find it in the city. People are just busy. Now, I know the city makes us more busy, if you can say it like that. But you are still in control of your time. There is no excuse. It's not wrong to be busy, but busyness is when the busyness of the life from the outside starts to run you. And you don't find a place where you can stop it, where you can put it off, and where you can change it, and you no longer know how to change it, because it's like a thing that's running you. That is not God's way of living in time, because He has given us enough time for everything. And I know I've been at all sides of it, if you can say it like that. But I realize today that in not living from the inside to the outside, becomes the trap where busyness starts to happen. Because I'm living from the outside, because we want this, we want this, we want this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And it is not according to the, let's say, the blueprint, the passion, and the profile that's in you, according to the phase of your life now. I remember the 2 years that had the biggest influence upon my life was the 2 years where I had made the decision to take off to a year completely to sort out something in my life. It was 1988 I think was the 1 year, and the other one was 2015, where I took off. And that was the biggest years of influence and changing in my life, where I forced myself to take off a year, not in the sense that I've been doing nothing, but to say I will do just the necessary so that I can focus on this thing and sort this thing out once and for all. And I can say up till today that the Lord didn't disappoint me in those 2 years, because He really wants to meet you. But you must get yourself to a place where you are able to focus on the thing that you want to sort, that you release time to think about it, to study about it, to read about it, to do something about it. Because it's not just going to change and go away for nothing. And it brings a total redirect in your life. Maybe you don't need to take off a whole year. But I've challenged once people, you remember there in the Strand, I challenged people to take off a whole month and just sit with the Word and just focus a month. Take your holiday time and focus for a month and just see what is the effect that will have upon your life. Sometimes we need to do it to show time that you don't have the rule over me. I can utilize you in the right way to make a change in my life, to come to more effectiveness, bigger productivity, more focus, and to live exactly what is in me. Thank you very much.